Happy Tuesday. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Dangle Betselli, powered by FTN Bets, right here on FTN Network, live on our FTN Network YouTube page, also on Game Plus Network. Chris Meaney and the Eric Young here with you. 12 games on the ice tonight in the NHL, and I am finally rocking it. Good, sir. Oh, baby. Dangle, bet. Can we get the Selly in here? Let's go. T-shirts are finally off. I know I kind of dropped the ball there. I got them away yesterday, so hopefully by the end of the week you should be able to get them. If not, early next week should be in your mailbox. Man, they're comfy, they're nice. Like, man, your buddy did a great job.
They kill it. I'm not going to give away cardboard T-shirts to people. I hate those kind of shirts, so I make sure I get the better ones. Awesome stuff. And I mean, all the American listeners, they have them already, but Canadian listeners, they're in the mail. I mean, I don't know how it works there. The mail system was terrible when I lived there. I'm sure it's not improved, but they're on their way.
Yeah, I always a few of my American buddies always send me like memes of just like big ass moose carrying the mail from province to province and city to city.
I think pretty sure that's how it still works.
No nipple chafing. Hammerhead Union is in the house here. Welcome in. Good morning, everybody. Jason Prince, what's going on? It's DBC time. The Maniac Parlay is cashing tonight. Man, we got 12 games on the ice to talk about. A lot to get after. Troy in the house. SJ Sharkey will win today versus the boys. SJ Sharkey, a little shout out to our guy Cam Stewart. We have Matthew Bingham in the house as well. Good morning, fellas. Happy Tuesday. Good morning to you as well. Had to drop Lehkonen. That was tough news last night. Man, we were all over the Avs. Not breaking any news. We had a 2-unit play on the Avs puck line last night. We had Evan Rodriguez for a point. We had hit a 16-1 same-game parlay with Rantanen for a point, Kale McCarr for a point, Rodriguez, the whole crew. McKinnon for 2 points. Got lucky, really. It was a late power play. Nathan McKinnon picked up an assist on Colorado's 8th goal of the night. Again, the Habs still hung around. Like it was, I think, 7-2 at one point. All of a sudden it's 7-4. I think they hit the bar. They weren't really getting a good goaltending from Alexander Georgiev, but the Avs found a way to get it done. But man, just another injury. And that's why what Colorado did and what they're still doing or Tampa Bay rather, going to 3 straight Stanley Cup finals. It's so impressive. You have to have so much work your way and battle through these injuries and things. In Colorado, man, they haven't had Landeskog all year. McKinnon's missed some time. Rantanen's been fantastic all year. McCarr has missed some time. Rodriguez has missed time. Then last night,
missed time.
Oh, Byram's been in and out of the lineup. Man, he had a beautiful goal last night. Terry Lehkonen breaks a finger against his former squad. His first game back in Montreal, he scores 2 goals, picks up an assist. He was plus money for 3 shots. We had that as well. Don't blame you, Troy. At this time of the season, you can't. I mean, my playoffs in one league started Monday. I think the standard is next week in head-to-head formats. If you're in a rotisserie league, you only got 4 weeks here left in the NHL season. Can't be messing around with guys that are hurt. But Lehkonen, don't know the timetable. Did travel back to Colorado for surgery. Maybe he's ready to go for the playoffs. But yeah, you got to cut your ties there and move on. But he says luckily he has McKinnon, Rantanen, Rodriguez, and Landeskog. So you get the whole Avs squad there. Off to a dynamite start in the fantasy playoffs. And those who have Alex Tuck, welcome back to the lineup, right? He had a fantastic night last night against your Leafs. Hammerhead Union's already throwing out point props and plays, and I love it. I think Dunn extended his point streak to 10 last night. He's been fantastic. Adam Redcap in the house, right? And 50 goals. Is he going to get to 50? I don't think he's going to get to 50. He's going to have to go on a heck of a run. Anyone else addicted to goalie save overs? Yes, I think you come to the right place. I believe our guy, Hammerhead Union, is a big fan of goalie save overs. So I like it as well, but you really got to pick your spots. I mean, a lot of people were talking last night about Jake Allen, getting the over on save props. He allowed 3 goals in his first 6 shots. I think he actually allowed 6 goals on 9 shots overall. And gets yanked. That's the risk of the goalie saves. But you could keep an eye on trends and teams pulling goalies, or if they have a back-to-back, do they quickly make that switch to other goalies as well? But Two Bets is saying he's having some success, 62% in the past month, but 0 for 3 yesterday after 3-0 on Sunday. Yeah, highs and lows, the reverse sweep. You can't hate it. 3-0, 0-3. He probably came out on top there as well. Look at this guy, Adam Rankamp. What a dude. Sending cash just because. Let's cash some tickets. You're fantastic. We do appreciate all the support from you, Adam, over the years. Welcome in. We're going to get after it here in a second. Does Carolina figure out how to score tonight against the Jets? No Svechnikov for the rest of the season. Hurts, who steps up? It's a good question. Maybe we can get after that one as well. I already put this in the bet tracker last night. I thought we'd see the odds change a little bit. I know it's a really tough spot, Eric. Carolina's good at home. This is a really good team. We know that all year long, but they are sliding at the moment. We chatted before we got on because we've been talking about the Rangers and the Devils in the first round of the playoffs for like a month now. But hey, man, the Devils may actually take this division.
Yeah.
Metro, they're both tied, 94 points. Carolina does have a game in hand, but the Devils are 7-2-1 in their last 10. They've won 3 straight games, and the Carolina Hurricanes have lost 2 in a row. They're having issues scoring. They're much better at home. When I look at their 5-5 per 60 numbers, they're near the top. I think they're third in goals for per 60. On the road, not as much, but they're near the top in high danger changes, scoring changes, no matter where they play. They control the pace at 5-5. They seem to every single game. But what you and I chat about all year, even before the season started, we like the Pacioretty deal, needed Pacioretty, needed some offensive scoring power. He plays for a minute, looks good. Then he suffers the injury. They don't do anything to replace him. Yes, they lead the NHL in goals from their blue line. I think 6% of their goals from their blue line. They have fantastic defensemen. They grab Gostisbehere, great get. Jesse Puljujarvi was their big get offensively. A guy who also drives offense at 5-5, but can't find the back of the net. How is this team going to manage here over the next little bit and into the playoffs? I'm not feeling them. I'm not feeling them.
I believe it's going to be it's more of the same, and I'm sticking with my guns. Is that style of play is not a style of play. Like you're saying, like a lot of, they lead the NHL in goals and points from defensemen. Well, that's all well and good in the regular season. In the postseason, everybody is blocking shots, right? And those are the hardest shots to go because they have the most distance to travel. I still am on the thing of playing that style and that much skating and that much pressure. It wears you out. And, not everybody can be Rob Brindamore. And I know he wants that, but it's just not everybody is built to play that way. It's just not physiologically possible for every player to play that. And my theory is they get worn out and they get tired. And when you can't pressure and you can't play the way you've played all season, the goal scoring is not going to go up, right? Like
it dries up in the playoffs.
No team is close to them on chipping pucks in and chasing it, right? Like it's an exhausting way to play. I know this because I play that way poorly because I can't carry the puck. I have hands of stone. I can't see more than 2 feet in front of me. So what do? I flip it in the corner and I chase it because I'm fast and I'm stronger than everybody on the ice. Well, the reality is everybody's fast in the NHL, and it comes to the playoffs, and these guys can't score goals. Now they've lost Pacioretty, who was on their roster, the best pure goal scorer, and Svechnikov. And I think this season, we totally missed. I feel like we were betting on him to score, and the reality is he hadn't scored in 2 months. So,
and I think we only picked him. We picked him because he's a good player, but he hadn't scored in months. It was kind of like for shit.
That's when we picked him. When we repicked him, we're like, he's got to score. I mean, this is what he does as a player. He is one of the guys on that team that you trust. I think it's going to be more of the same from Carolina, and I like the team. I like watching them. They're fun. I like a lot of their players, like Aho and Neches. But the reality is I believe it's going to be more of the same, which is frustrating as a hockey fan. And I mean, a Carolina fan, like something's got to give, right? Like at some point.
Yeah, we both did. We both wanted to see them be aggressive. I didn't think that they would pull. It didn't seem like a franchise that was going to pull the trigger on like a Patrick Kane or maybe a Timo Meier. Timo Meier kind of made sense for them because it's a deal where you can lock them up long term and then you add that firepower to your offense moving forward. But yeah, like Martin Necas has had a great season and he's broken out. Like we've talked about that at length this season. Jesperi Kotkaniemi has done decent things for them, but you and I didn't feel like he was ready to be a second line center into the playoffs. I still don't feel like he is, despite, again, decent season from him. Sebastian Aho is great. I don't know where the goals are going to come from, but over the past couple of years, they haven't been able to get that goal. Like they played Tampa in a 5-game series and they've been great against the Lightning. But what does it come down? It comes down to like goals. Like at the end of the day, they lose like 2-1, 3-2 because they can't find a way to score.
And Gostisbehere, like you said, is a great player, but they don't.
Great player.
They don't need him. They got 4 guys better than him.
Their defense is fantastic.
Like they don't. It's unnecessary. It's a completely unnecessary move. You don't need Shane Gostisbehere. You need a guy playing in your top 6 that can score goals.
Absolutely. Let's get into this game a little bit more. Matthew's like, all right, then Kane's under, I guess. And yeah, it actually is. I feel like a trend here that's kind of happening here with the Hurricanes. If you look back at the past couple of games, they lost 3-0, they lost 4-0, they won 1-0. They beat the Habs 4-3. Wow, you beat the Canadians. They needed a shootout to do that. They beat the Lightning 6-0. Like they had a great game in that game. They didn't give up anything. 6-1 against Arizona, 3-2 Vegas, 3-2 Anaheim, 4-0 Ottawa, 4-1 St. Louis, 4-1 Washington. Yeah, there's 2 bets that I put in the bet tracker late last night. The first 2 that I put in was a Winnipeg upset here tonight at plus 170 and the under 6. And I just want to get you guys some live odds because it was slightly juiced when I put the under in last night. It's probably 5.5 everywhere. So some 6s actually. You can get under 6 at PointsBet at minus 125. Our friends here from PointsBet. And you can get, Caesars has it as well, but a lot of books are plus money at 5.5. I would just take the under 6, just in case, we get a 4-2 game. It's a push, but I feel like this will be low scoring. I don't know where the offense is going to come from as long as Hellebuck is in between the pipes. It's easy to sit here and say Necas is going to have to step up and Teuvo Teravainen is going to have to step up. Seth Jarvis is going to have to step up. He's been very quiet, but I don't really love the direction that this team is going right now. And if they do hold on to the top spot in the Metro, they're going to get some team that's red hot that gets into the playoffs, whether it's the Penguins, the Sabres, the Senators, potentially, or they have that first round matchup against the Rangers, which just won't be easy for them. So we'll see where Carolina goes, but I think this is an opportunity maybe to jump on a dog here. Again, it's not going to be easy. The Hurricanes are a fantastic team at home. They're 23-8-2. They don't give up a whole lot. But this is why we like the under here as a group. So, Matthew, I'm on board with the under, assuming most will be flat 6, but we can start scoring again. So, just rattled off some of the books there that are offering 6, some 5.5s there. And I agree with Adam Rancap, right? Like Jesse Puljujarvi couldn't score points next to McDavid. I found it hard to believe. Like he played not like the same amount of ice. He didn't get the same amount of ice time, but he had several opportunities to put up points next to the best player in the world, and he couldn't do it. Maybe he creates a little bit of a spark. Because of the injury, he is going to get an opportunity, right? He is going to be in that top 6 and get an opportunity, but
they got him listed as on the top line, right? So.
Yeah, I can't imagine he's going to go on a heck of a run. I don't mind maybe a little sprinkle on him tonight, maybe to get a point or something. But the other guy I wanted to bring up with you is Nino Niederreiter. We keep bringing him up. We keep talking about him. He's been fantastic. He's plus 100 over at FanDuel for a point. I have that in the bet tracker as well. Even though I don't expect a lot of scoring, he just has been really good. Under 16 minutes a game in his first 48 with the Predators, and on the top line, top power plays, a couple games already with 20 minutes. Over at Bet Rivers, his shot prop is 139, minus 139 for 2 shots tonight for Nino Niederreiter. He is like plus 125 if you want to go the 3 route, but if you can go the 2, why not? He's had at least 3 shots in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of his last 6, and he enters tonight on a 6-game point streak. He's hit the score sheet in 6 of his 7 games with the Jets. What you got over there for us? Please don't give me 5 goal scores. It's not going to make me feel good about my under.
No, well, I'm going to give you 4 because that's what I do.
Okay, fine. All right.
You know, and
I like it.
It doesn't mean that all four are going to score, but they could.
They could.
I'm going Jarvis playing on that top line. I think a lot of the responsibility is going to fall on him. You know, he's a shooter, playing in the top six, playing in the power play. I like him, and I like Netchess. Netchess is still my favorite player in Carolina. So fast, can rip the puck. When things happen right for this player, he's one of the best players in the NHL. But he doesn't seem to be able to put it together consistently. So I hopefully that, this is the injury is something that sparks him. The need for goal scoring is something that sparks him. But we'll see. I'm betting against it, but you never know. And on the Winnipeg side, of course, our boy Kyle Connor, I'm going with him, and I'm going with Blake Wheeler as well, as having a really good comeback season, playing in the top six, playing in the top power play. Really cool to see Blake Wheeler kind of be Blake Wheeler again.
Yeah, it was pretty sour on him overall. I mean, I know it was a rough year for him, right? He got stripped with the seed, new coaching staff, kind of had to prove himself a little bit again. From a fantasy standpoint, he was really falling off, but yeah, he's been pretty good. I'll just go with, I'm going to take Nino tonight. I may get involved with the goal. I'm pretty intrigued with the assist prop as well, just because of the players that he's playing with. I mean, plus 250 for an assist tonight. I get it. It's because it's the matchup. Fun little revenge narrative, former Hurricane there, but minus 139 for the two shots. If you wanted to go three, a little bit more riskier, but DraftKings is offering plus 130. I would lean to the over slightly, despite how good Carolina is at 5-5, but plus 250 for an assist, plus 100 for a point. It's all pretty juicy to me. And over at FanDuel, you can get plus 225 for a goal. Actually, Bet Rivers is offering 280. Plus 280 for a goal is actually really like juicy there. Yeah, not too bad. I like the Jets, low scoring under. Hammerhead's on Carolina in the under, but he says drop the hammer there on Nino, and Adam likes save. So this is one, right? This is where the risk comes in. But I think if you are attacking save props, you want to get a goalie that's definitely going to see some rubber, a team that plays good 5-5. The risk is that, Hellebuck gets crushed in the first and then he gets yanked. But we haven't seen that from Carolina. Carolina leads the league in low danger shots for, and that's Rod Brennanmore's style, right? I know a lot of people in the analytic community talk about the Hurricanes and how they drive offense and they lead the NHL in shot attempts and shots at 5-5 per 60 and things like that. But where are these shots coming from? Like a lot of Brennanmore, his style is put pucks on net and put them on net early and crash the net, put them on from the corner, create rebounds.
It's an exhausting way to play hockey. It's physically crippling to play like that all year, right? It just is. It's not. Everybody can skate now. Like, you mean like you're not taking advantage of anybody? I don't think it's the way to play, and I think the proof is in the pudding. And I would imagine an early exit from the playoffs will prove me even more right this year.
Yeah, and then I wonder if we'll see some changes, because they'd be pretty underwhelming. Like, everyone talks about the Leafs, and talk about other teams that can't get going, but this is a team that's had high expectations for like
5 years at least.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like we got a timetable there for Lehkonen, as we mentioned off the top of the show, 4 to 6 weeks with a broken finger. Likely won't see him until playoffs. Yeah, I mean, maybe second round. We'll see what happens there. Troy's going to take a stab on the under in the Jets tonight. I like it. Hopefully don't steer you guys in the wrong direction. Let's continue, and we'll move over to Pittsburgh. The Canadians played last night, as we talked about, a successful night over at ftnbets.com, kind of taking a little bit of chalk there with the Avs. I was surprised, actually. We got minus 103 for the Avs, who went on the puck line. A big W last night. The Penguins are a team that I definitely don't trust at minus 319. I don't care who the heck they're playing. They're, of course, on home ice tonight against a team that played last night, and they're all the way up to minus 330 now over at DraftKings. Other books have them at minus 350, 360. My goodness. The Habs are checking in at plus 275. It does seem like Montreal's starting to hit a little bit of a wall. Like, they've been playing competitive hockey. We've been talking about them hanging around with really good teams. Their schedule is extremely tough the rest of the way. So I do feel like these losses will start to pile up. And, not on Jake Allen last night, but allowing 6 goals basically on 9 shots. I don't know if they go back to him. Mutombo actually came in and played pretty good. But the truth is, like, there's a lot of young defensemen on this Canadian squad, like Barron and Gooley and Harris. These are nice, young, promising defensemen, but they make a lot of mistakes. St. Louis not doing any favors at all for Nick Suzuki, playing him with like just inexperienced players, not getting to play with Hoffman. Not that I care about Hoffman. I think Hoffman's any good EY, but he doesn't get to play with Hoffman or Anderson. He played with Garianov for a couple games, and then they took Garianov away from him. They're literally playing like Harvey Pernard's been a nice story, but come on. I feel for Suzuki right now. I'd imagine the Pens win this game. Big playoff aspirations for the squad. They got to go on a run. It was a big win against the Rangers over the weekend. I'd lean to the puck line. You may sweat it out, but the guy that's been so hot that we have to reference on this show, we made it the free bet of the day over at ftnbets.com, was Jason Zucker, over 2.5 shots at -125. Actually, -114 at FanDuel, and he's -125 for a point. This guy's been hot fire. I don't know how you don't. I mean, you got to ride him out, I think. You got him over there for a goal?
Yeah, I do. We're definitely in lockstep there. I've got Gensel and Zucker. It's wild not putting down Crosby or Malkin to score. But they are distributors, right? Like Gensel is for sure, his scoring is down this year, but he is the trigger man. They haven't removed him from that position. He's still the shooter on the power play. He's the shooter on the top line with Crosby. It's a fair person to bet on for sure. DraftKings has him at -105. I'm not really sure where that comes from because he hasn't been scoring, right? Like it's the matchup. And I think Montembeault goes tonight. And like you said, Pittsburgh's playing for everything and Montreal's playing for nothing. So I think Pittsburgh wins here tonight. I got Gensel and Zucker, like I said, for Pittsburgh. And on the Montreal side, Suzuki, because if offense is going to come from somebody, it's probably going to be for him. Honorable mention to Josh Anderson, who's been playing really, really good. Man. We talked about him, I think 3 or 4 weeks ago, saying, this is, you're going to see this guy push the pedal. It's a team where all spots are open, right? Like this team is developing. They're definitely in the rebuild. And Josh Anderson he's like Walmart Tom Wilson, right? Like or for Canadian viewers, President's Choice Tom Wilson.
Very nice. Well done.
Yeah.
I like everything that Josh Anderson brings to the table. Like, I think I said it a couple weeks ago to you where there was like a borderline nasty hit on Nick Suzuki and Anderson right away dropped the gloves. Like, he's a leader. He wants to be in Montreal. I mean, the story behind him too, like he grew up, even though as a Toronto boy, he grew up as a Habs fan. I mean, he remembers an epic night at the Bell Center when the Habs were down 5-0. I remember the story. The Habs were down 5-0 against the Rangers. That came back and won the game. And he was at that game with his dad as a kid. And he's like, nice. I want to play here. Like, this place is electrifying. He wants to be there. And you got to have guys like that. You have to build around certain
100%.
players. You can't trade everybody
away.
He's
a good player, right? Like he does a lot of things. He's not great at any one thing, but he's a very good player. Really good, powerful skater for a guy his size, physical, great on the forecheck, can shoot the puck. You kind of wish he shot the puck more. Like I said, honorable mention for him. And I don't know if Garianov is still going to play where he played yesterday, but they had him on the second line and on the top power play in kind of a shooting position. So I'm going to go with Garianov, and I think it's an interesting bet. He's at +275.
I love it. He's been good, man. He's been a bright spot. I mean, I love the trade.
Cool
It's really good for Dallas too.
Dead in Dallas. Dead, like not playing scratch.
Listen, playing 8-9 minutes, right? Like, give him a fresh opportunity, and that's what he's getting in Montreal. Again, I would like to see him. The first couple games St. Louis played with Suzuki, and it looked really good. Maybe he's just trying to see if he can gain chemistry with other people. Like, I don't know if he feels like he's part of the future plans with Suzuki, because we all know that Caulfield's going to be on that line. But yeah, he's been really good. Dennis Garianov. I like the Anderson call as well. Maybe for a shot prop. I've been going to Michael Matheson. Now, we had Matheson here on the board, finding a little revenge narrative. And Matheson hasn't hit over the past, couple of games, but I still feel like the process is correct. He's second on the team in shots over the last 14 days with 21. It's really all about the ice time. 27 minutes, 27, 31, 27, 22 last night. He's been stuck on 2 shots in 3 straight games, but before that, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in a row where he had at least 3 shots. Maybe a little bit of getting up in his step tonight against his former squad, possibly. But it's all about a couple power plays. That's where usually he gets his shot attempts from. So I like Matheson. Gary Anoff does lead the Habs in shots on goal over the last 2 weeks. You can get him over at Bet Rivers at 1.5 at -114. That's a really good price. I'm not seeing any other books offer it. Unibet 1.5, but he's had at least 2 shots in every game but one, and his first one with he's had 2 shots in every game with the Habs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. He's had at least 2 shots with the Canadians. He's got 3 goals in back-to-back, as I mentioned, and points in 3 straight. So it's a really good call by you. As for Jason Zucker, this guy's got 9 goals in his last 9 games. No assists, all goals. A little bit unsustainable when it comes to a shooting percentage, but he is shooting the puck. 24 shots on goal in his last 2 weeks, 8 shots in his last game, and 12 in his last 2. He's cleared 2.5 in 3 of his past 4. So a lot of interesting plays here. I'm seeing 17 messages in the chat. I'll catch up. I'd imagine it's a lot on this game. I just want to recap for me. Zucker, Anderson, Gary Anoff, and Matheson. I would rank them Zucker, Matheson, Gary Anoff, and Anderson, but I like all 4 of those from a shot prop standpoint. I look, Zucker is the bet of the day, as I mentioned, from a shot prop, 2.5, -114. But I like him for a point at -124. And I know he's been a goal-scoring machine, but because I feel like Pittsburgh could score 5 or 6 tonight, Zucker at +220 for an assist ain't bad at all. You had what? Gensel, Zucker, Anderson, and Gary Anoff?
Yep.
Penguins,
Suzuki and Gary Anoff.
Oh, Suzuki. Give me a
honorable mention to Anderson because he's been great.
Honorable mention. We'll take the shot prop from him. Give me a score prediction tonight for this game.
I'm going to say, let's go 4-2 Pittsburgh.
4-2 Pittsburgh, empty netter. Crosby's up to 3.5 now. I haven't seen him 3.5 ever since we've been doing this shot prop game for 2-3 years. Haven't seen him. But the guy has had at least 4 shots in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight games and 8 in his last game. What did we say? What did we say if the Penguins want to make the playoffs?
Yep.
He's going to carry this team.
Yep.
And this is exactly what he's doing at the moment. Morning, gents. Morning, Bruzeese 91. What else do we have here? Penguins in Manchester City. Moneyline. Okay, Troy. Nice. We got the cross-sport parlay here. I dig it. Jason Zucker goal is rinse, wash, and repeat. It's still, right. How can you not go to him? Right? How can
He's been unreal for a couple weeks, right? Matthew Bingham. Look at. I'm not knocking President's Choice. I still believe that the President's Choice chocolate chip cookies are some of the best chocolate chip cookies ever made. I can't remember the name of them, but they came in like a brown bag, and I mean, I consumed President's Choice like it was going out of style because I was poor, and I love President's Choice. To be clear,
just to be clear, he loves President's Choice. You see on the screen the 16-1. Can we try it out? Let's do one quickly, and we'll move on from this game because there's like a lot more hockey.
Yeah, we're 30 minutes in. We've done 2 games. Buckle up, everybody.
Buckle up. Crosby's at 1.5, so it's tough. Maybe you got to get the assists. Gensel's at 1.5 too. It gets really tough to do the same game parlays when you get guys at 1.5. I chucked McKinnon in there at 1.5, but everybody else is at 1. Surprisingly, like Makar was at 1, and Lehkonen and Chushkin. All these guys are at 1 tonight. You know, you could do Zucker. Raquel's in that third line, but he's been good. Power play time, right? You could go Letang. Like if you're doing Crosby at 1.5, you could do Gensel. It's tough, guys, to do it for the Pens tonight. It doesn't seem legit, but maybe a small sprinkle on. You could do 22-1 if you go Rust, Letang, Raquel, Zucker all for a point, and then Crosby and Gensel for 2 points each. That's 22-1 over at Bet365. But again, super, super risky. But it does correlate. If Crosby gets 2, Gensel's probably going to get 2. But to ask for 2 is quite a bit. Maybe you just get away from those guys and add a shot prop in for Zucker and company. Monty saves. I would imagine he doesn't get pulled. They'll probably give they'll probably give Halak. They'll probably give Allen the night off because of that. Yeah, we're gonna move on. There's a lot of plays here. Matheson point, assist prop, Raquel assist, diehard MMA podcast in the house. Good morning. This is Clint from the past. I am late, so I'm starting the show from the beginning, but wanted to say hi. You'll see in a few minutes then. The hi back to you. Zucker assist. Good morning, Clint. No Kulikov on the ice for the Peds. It's like Kulikov and Bonino already hurt. That's what happens when you're the oldest team in the NHL and your big acquisitions at the deadline are players that are old. That's going to catch up to you. Everybody's on Zucker. It's hard to keep up with the chat. Love it. I'll try to, any questions, I'll try to keep up, but it looks like you guys are just kind of hammering some plays. We all seem to like a lot of the Penguins, so that's usually bad news. Next one here, Devils and Lightning. New Jersey checking in at home here at -121. It's now -130 over at Caesars, and the Lightning road dogs. Don't get that too often. +115 for the Bolts. I think Stammer is fine. It looked like it was going to be a bit of a scary injury there from Stamkos.
Yeah,
it did look bad, but he is good to go, and he didn't miss any time. He was back the other night against the Jets. What you got?
I think this would be a great game. Look, if you're not betting on Braden Point to score, then you're not paying attention. He's been unreal, man. I mean, he's one of the best players in the league and is not talked about enough, in my opinion. He's such a good player, +120. And we'd said this over a week ago. Alex Killorn, this guy, when this team needs people to step up and need to be players and need to, score goals and get points and be involved, it's Alex Killorn every single time. Hopefully you did the right thing in your season long and picked him up. He's been really, really good for like 2 or 3 weeks. So I'm going back to Killorn. On the New Jersey side, I'm going Timo Meier and Jesper Bratt.
Nice. I like the Bratt call. Yeah, Timo and Hughes looked a lot better in their last game against the Canadiens. I thought they were awful. Like, I was thinking to myself, how does Jack Hughes go a whole game against a team like Montreal and not get a shot on goal? It's like, what? Because he had 5 against Washington, 6 against the Leafs before that, 0 against the Habs. And then against Carolina, he had a goal, 3 points. He was in on every goal, and he had 4 shots. I'm going to him on the shot prop tonight. FanDuel's offering -122 at 3.5. The other books have 4.5 +130, but not needed. Let's get 4 instead of 5. So DraftKings also hanging -135 for 4 shots, and BetMGM, -125 for 4 shots. So I like Jack Hughes. If I was to pick a goal scorer, it would be Hughes or Timo. And Mercer, I mean, how long can we ride this out? Let's continue to do it. It's a little bit juice now. We're getting into what is a tough matchup with Vasilevsky and the Lightning, but -145 for a point. I've been doing the assist prop with him as well. He's +140 for an assist tonight, Dawson Mercer. So he's been real, real good. Vanacek, we appreciate the updates and goal. Benningham is giving us the goalies, and that's fantastic. Yeah, Dawson Mercer, right? Point is free money. Point 11 straight games now. Yeah, he's been rolling. And then there's Mr. Point himself, which you and I absolutely love, which we said the other day. He doesn't really get the respect that he deserves, Braden Point. Like, nobody talks about him being an elite goal scorer. They don't. When they talk about elite goal scorers in the league, they don't bring up Braden Point. And he is.
And he is.
Yeah, he is. Adam says Hughes always brings the best in his against tough opponents. Man, he's just so fun to watch. His Devils team is cooking. Fun. His Devils team is cooking. Also booked already in New Jersey, 3-way money line at +130. So you're on in 60 for the New Jersey Devils. I am with you. I think this game could be a little tighter. I don't mind taking a little bit of juice on the Devils just winning on home ice at -130. Daily handle in the house. Good morning. Let's go Means and EY. Shirt should be at your place at the end of the week. Maybe early week there, daily handle. Let's keep going. Let's go to New York. Let's go to the Rangers. I will be in Washington on Friday to see Ovechkin and the Capitals. I'm pretty excited to see my new addition to my fantasy hockey squad, Rasmus Sandin. How about that guy? Are you kidding me?
He's been
gets
awesome.
An opportunity to play in Washington. This is a guy that, couldn't crack the top power play over Morgan Riley in Toronto. And couldn't get any ice time there. And in Washington, he's getting ice time. 4 games, 21 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes. He played 30 minutes against the Devils, and then 23-27 in his last game. He has 8 points, 1 goal, 2 power play points. He's got 3 multi-point games. He has 2 3-point games already. I put him in the tracker last night for a point. I don't really get involved with these defensemen to get points, but how can I not do this? Like, he's been living on the power play. We know that the power play is good, right? I mean, say what you want about the Capitals. They're actually starting to play pretty good hockey at the moment. Like, they're feeling like they have an opportunity, and they're going to want to bring it tonight for sure. They got to basically win out to have a chance here. But Rasmus Sandin is plus 130 over at DraftKings for a point tonight. He's plus 168 for an assist. I don't see any power play odds there, but I do like Rasmus Sandin. And I don't know, man. I'd like the aggressiveness by the Rangers. Kane's looked okay. I know a lot of people are talking about him from, again, an analytical standpoint. They didn't bring him in to play defense. He's still got a lot of firepower offensively. But this Rangers team, they got a couple weeks to figure it out, and I think they need to figure it out. They haven't been too inconsistent.
Yeah, it's wild to see. I mean, everybody in the hockey world was like, "Oh my God, like this team. Look at the lines, look at the power play," and it hasn't clicked yet. I still believe it will. It will. I'm a believer in the Rangers and the team that they've put together, but time will tell. And sometimes what looks great on paper doesn't add up on the ice. So we're going to see. For Tampa Bay, I got Point and Killorn, like I said. Or wait, we're doing Washington, New York.
Yeah.
Ovi, if he plays and he's positive or negative, I'm betting on him to score. He's been quiet, right? Like since coming back, his dad passing away. Obviously, him and his father were very close, and playing an NHL hockey games seems very unimportant when something like that happens because it's not important. But I got Ovi and Oshie, the O boys, and on the Ranger side, I got Zibanejad and Kane.
I'm feeling like a Washington upset here tonight. I feel like the Caps might win. I know. It's a little tough. I do think the Rangers are better. I think that they got better goaltending. I think that they're
better in
have more
every way.
Firepower. Yeah, they are. But the Rangers are 4-5-1 in their last.
It is the NHL.
The Capitals are playing decent. They're also 4-5-1 in their last 10. I feel like we could get an upset, just like the whole desperation thing with Washington. Like they need W's, and they need them like in a hurry. I was like watching the other day against the Islanders. I thought they played pretty good. 5-1 victory against the Islanders. They hung around with the Devils 3-2 the game before that. They beat the Rangers 6-3 on February 25th. Now that was in Washington. But that's the way I'm leaning. I don't have a lot of plays that I like here. You know, Ovechkin's juice at 3.5. I don't mind the 4 maybe into a parlay, but I do like Rasmus Sandin at plus 130. I'll probably mess around with some same game parlay stuff like a Kane and Panarin, as long as it's at 1 point. Zibanejad and Kreider, potentially. Like those are some same game parlay ads, maybe a Tarasenko point in there, but I got this feeling for Washington tonight. The Rangers will be visiting Carolina in the first round now, and the Rangers will make a run. I hate them. Caps going down swinging. I do believe that the Devils are going to win the Metro now. I really do. Like Svechnikov is such a big blow to a team that can't find offense. Honestly, Lafreniere goal. You called it the other day. I thought it was a fantastic call by you, Alexis Lafreniere. And I wanted to look it up. I said it when we were texting. He just owns the Canadians. French-Canadian boy. I think his first goal was in Montreal, or he had gone like 25 games in a row without getting a goal, and he played his first game at the Bell Center, and he was all over it. Upset. Stay on it. I'm on it. Caps. Let's go. Dallas, Vancouver. Dallas, speaking of on it, I'm on them. I'm on the Stars. I've been on the fence about the Stars for about a month. I like the acquisitions. I know it's not game-changing, and we'll see what the length of the injury with Sagan is, what that's all about. But Dadonov has looked great on the second line, giving them stability. Wyatt Johnson's on the board. He scored a heck of a goal last night in Seattle. Beautiful goal. Nice young player. Jumped on the PDO podcast with Dmitry Filipovich, and we talked about just the offense that he can bring to the table. Very underrated player. Got a good shot. It's on that second line. We know how good the first line is. Robertson's having a great year. Roope's been fantastic. Pavelski's been good. That line has been good for 2 years. One of the best lines in the NHL. over the last couple of years. Dadonov on that second line looks great with Ben and Wyatt Johnson. Max Domi brings them something as well. What a beautiful sauce he had pass over to Heiskanen the other day. And even though Jake Ottinger hasn't been as consistent this season as I thought he would be, as a Dallas fan would like him to be, I like the Stars team. The West is completely wide open. We talked off the top of the show, all the injuries with Colorado, the adversity that they're facing. We haven't seen Alexander Georgiev have a full season in the NHL. He's kind of hit a lull, I feel like, over the past little bit. He's had some great moments this season for sure. Sure, he's going to be fine into the playoffs. But the West is open. Like, who is your second favorite team in the Western Conference after the Colorado Avalanche? Who do you think is the best chance to win the Stanley Cup in the West after Colorado?
I still like Los Angeles. I
like the Kings too, but again, they're not
gut
like
feel. The goaltending worries me. I like Seattle, but I mean, to pick a favorite, I mean, other than Colorado, it's
wide
open.
Not
easy, man. It's not. Exactly. It's not easy. I think if I was to put money on it, I'm going to say Edmonton because of McDavid and Draisaitl, and I think the Ekholm get for them, it was perfect. Yeah. I mean, he's the perfect player for them. His puck moving ability and his offensive ability are grossly underreported. Like that's not his game, but he's very good he's a very good skater. He's a very good player at making that first pass, kind of like a Victor Hedman light. I think, the body type and long stretch passes. And it's no accident that the Edmonton Oilers are firing all cylinders from picking up Matthias Ekholm. So it's if I was going to pick another Western team, it's going to be Edmonton.
I get it. They went to the third round last year. They got swept by the Avs, but they got a little bit of a taste of it. And McDavid and Draisaitl are that good. Anyways, 18-1 over at PointsBet for the Stars to win the Cup. Put the future in last night. I do like the bet. They went to the Stanley Cup Finals a couple years ago against Tampa. I think they got better goaltending, even though Khudobin was really good during that run. I think they got better goaltending this time around, and Jake Ottinger, and I think they're more balanced. I don't view them as a one-line team anymore. I think that they're more balanced with the additions of Dadonov and Domi. I like what they got to offer. As for tonight, tough spot in back-to-back. They played like 2 games there in Seattle. They stuck around. Now they play the Canucks. The Canucks are playing a little bit better. Of course, Thatcher Demko between the pipes, but Kuzmenko. I love it, Adam. How could you not ride this guy out? Minus 122 for a point over at FanDuel. And as I tweeted the other day, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it all day long, no matter the opponent, all the way up to minus 140, minus 145. If it gets richer than that, I'll put it into a same game parlay. He's plus 200 or to another parlay. He's plus 200 for an assist tonight. He's basically been a point per game guy in the first season of his NHL career. He's plus 205 over at FanDuel to score. Who do you got to find the back of the net tonight?
Let's take Vancouver. Yep. I got Robertson and Jamie Benn. It's so cool seeing Jamie Benn play like this. I've loved this player. He's just he's such a good player, a player that you would want on your team, a guy that you would cheer for. He's physical, he's mean. I mean, we're not that far removed from him winning, the Rocket Richard. I mean, with a low amount, but I mean, it's not that far away.
Art Ross, yeah, 87 points. Yeah.
But yeah, I love Jamie Benn. He's plus 235 on DraftKings, so I love that. And the Vancouver side, Patterson playing the best hockey of his career, which is great to see for Vancouver and Vancouver fans. I still believe the front office doesn't have a single clue what they're doing, but Patterson's still a good hockey player regardless. And I'm in lockstep with you, Kuzmenko. I think when it's all said and done, I'm going to eat those words. I mean, the Kuzmenko contract is going to look real, real good, I think.
He's a hell of a player, man. I guess it's not Dadonov, it's Dadonov now. But he has points.
I mean, make up your mind, man.
Yeah. Make up your mind, whatever you want it to be. Again, he's been really good here with Dallas. He's got points in 6 of his past 8 games. He checks in, riding a 3-game point streak, 5 points, 2 goals over that span. He is plus 112. He is daddy. Let's call him daddy.
Daddy. I was just going to say, that's what I'm calling him.
He's plus 112 for a point over at FanDuel. He's plus money across the board over at DK BetMGM as well. And he's plus 210 for an apple tonight, an assist. Even though it's the second half of a back-to-back, I do think that the Stars will squeak one out. I kind of lead.
All Stars are real good too.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, Brooksy. 19-1 to win the cup. Good path. Love them. Tough team to play against, man. They really are. They're tough. They're really tough to play against. And they got like bruisers. Like Jamie Benn may not put up the points that he put up when he won the Art Ross, even though that wasn't a big season. He's a nasty player to play against. Like he will get in your face and make life hell. And so will Brady.
One of the last guys not wearing a shield, doesn't care. Best.
Doesn't care one bit. Will drop the gloves and beat up anybody. He's pretty dirty too. All right, Sens and Oilers. Let's wrap up here on Game Plus Network with this matchup. We have a total of 7. The Edmonton Oilers are checking in as heavy home favorites here. Use the prop shop to get the best possible odds, minus 210. And the Sens are checking in at plus 188. Got a feeling this is a quote unquote Ottawa Senators show. I got a feeling you're coming in here with the Ottawa Senators upset. My goodness, though, for a team, we've talked about them a couple times here, obviously, down the stretch to make the playoffs, to get some games in hand. Very inconsistent. Just like losing 5-0 to Chicago, then a really nice win against Seattle, 5-4. That was a back-and-forth game. You and I were chatting the entire time. It was really entertaining. Then they got spanked by Vancouver 5-2. I thought they were extremely sloppy. And then they just got outclassed against the Calgary Flames, lost 5-1. So they wrap up this, road trip here in Edmonton. It hasn't gone good. As mentioned, 1 win through the first 4. You smell a potential upset here tonight? I mean, we're going to see offense. There's no question about it. The way the Senators play, we're going to see all kinds of offense tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I think was 7 was the over. I don't know about that, man. That's high.
We're going to see like a 5-3 game, 5-4 game.
Yeah, but yeah, you could easily see it with this team. I'm not betting against Edmonton. I love the Ottawa Senators. I want them in the playoffs. I want everybody in the playoffs, but I really want the Senators in the playoffs. Goaltending is going to come down to that, right? And they just don't have it. Talbot comes back. He starts to play well. He gets hurt again. So Ottawa, I got Tkachuk and DeBrincat. In Edmonton, I got McDavid and Draisaitl. And I got those 2 boys are starting off the 8-way parlay tonight. They're both scoring.
Mama. Nice. McDavid 4.5 plus 130. I'm gonna take a stab on that one.
Nice.
They could get in a situation where he doesn't shoot the puck as much, but man, I'm telling you what, I've watched a lot of Ottawa games lately, and this team plays way too loose. Too loose. They like to trade chances up and down the ice. I mean, I love the style, but if I was DJ Smith, I don't know if I like the style. Brady Tkachuk over 3.5 shots. I'm in on that one too, minus 114. So those are my 2 guys, but I would pick some goal scorers here. I'd go with Evander Kane. Draisaitl's at 2.5 too, which is shots is very interesting. And Hyman's at 2.5 shots. I put in the bet tracker last night. Hyman with maybe Boone Jenner, Patrick Laine, I think with somebody as well. That was juiced. Check out the prop shop parlay calculator and ftnbets.com. But Kane, I think, scores, and I can't get off of Stützle. I'm just so impressed with the way that he plays hockey. Those 2 guys.
Such a good player.
Brady McDavid shots. I'm not going to say over. It's not a bet for everybody. 7 goals is a tough bet to get behind, but I don't think anybody should be shocked if we see like 9 goals in this game. I would be shocked if we saw like a 3-0 game or something like that. Sens upset. I get behind. Coaster's Corner. Where you been, dude? Love it. Sens guy. 7 is not enough. Over tonight. Must-win game for the Sens. I like Drake shot prop. Seems to be ripping the puck a little bit there. Okay. You heard it right there from the Sens guy himself. Loves the over. I think we'll see like a 5-3 game. And I could get behind the upset. I would not be shocked either. Sens are an interesting upset. In fact, I like the Sens upset a little bit more than the Capitals one. To go into MSG.
Me too. If I was to pick out of the upsets, I would pick Sens. But I foolishly picked him to win every game.
Betting the over in this one. Everyone's all over the over. Despite it being 7. Despite it being 7, we seem to like it. Kane does make the Oilers better. Absolutely. He's a good player. He's tough to play against, and he gives them more stability up the lineup. It's not like you need to play Ryan Nugent-Hopkins in the top 6 when you have Kane in there. That's the way I view the Oilers anyways. I don't love their bottom 6, even though I do like the Bukestad addition. It gives them a little bit more balance. Evan Bouchard point, like it as well. We're just going to say goodbye to Game Plus Network. You want to give them a goal score? Your favorite one?
Number one favorite one is Jake Gensel tonight.
Gotta pick on the Habs. Gotta pick on the Habs. All right, we're gonna say goodbye to Game Plus Network. Hopping over to our FTN Network YouTube page. We got a couple more games here to break down. We got the 8-leg Maniac goal scoring parlay and a couple shot props insides as well. Promo code Meaney, save yourself a little bit of cash. All the picks across all sports. Madness happening as well. We got a lot of content over at ftnbets.com. Have a good one. Good luck on the ice, and we'll talk to you on Thursday. Cheers. All right, let's continue. I think we've hit up all the games on the board, so we will move on over to the prop shop, parlay calculator, and get after it. You are going to the Preds game tonight. Looks like you are, anyways.
Yeah,
rocking the jersey. Minus 148 at home against.
I forgot we didn't talk
that's
about
not
this. Reverse retro.
Oh, it's Kings. It's
Drew
retro.
Doughty. Yeah,
that's really nice.
It's
really
it's a gorgeous jersey, man. I love Drew Doughty. I've always loved Drew Doughty, and I didn't own a Drew Doughty jersey, and I like this one. I got to get some classic Kings wins as well. I make it a Robitaille.
Ooh, Robitaille, nice. That's another good one. I like that.
Yeah.
What movie did I watch the other day with somebody was rocking a Robitaille jersey in it? Anyways, doesn't matter. You are going to the Preds game tonight, though.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, who's scoring a goal for you? Minus 148 at home, Detroit at plus 135. Who's going to score a goal for you tonight?
Look, you did the hockey lords work on Dimitri's show and talking about our guy Tommy Novak.
There it is.
I talked about him at the start of the season. I couldn't believe that he didn't make the opening day roster. It was insane to me. And since being called up, he's done nothing but prove me right. Dude, he's such a good player. He's such a good player. I like him and Duchesne to score tonight. Duchesne has been playing really inspired hockey, man. He's so tricky with the puck. He's been physical, forechecking, knocking guys off the puck, and not really part of his game, but he's been doing that a lot lately. So I like Nashville. They're not mathematically eliminated, right? They trade away these players. They go into the sale. They get all these draft picks. Ekholm's gone. Forsberg's not playing. Parsons is not playing. They got, half the team is made up of Milwaukee Admirals, and
yeah,
they could do it.
I know. They're 7-2-1 in their last 10.
The West is open. It's wild. And one of those losses was to Arizona. What are you doing? So anyways, I got my Novak and Duchesne, and on the Detroit side, I got Larkin and Perron. Perron has just been a thorn in the side of the Preds for as long as I can remember. Every team he's played with, he seems to score, and he's playing, top six and playing on the top power play. So that's why I got Perron in there.
Yeah, those are the two guys to attack. I feel like, Lucas Raymond just hasn't been that great. Perron and Larkin would be the guys maybe for, a point parlay over at Bet365 or to score. Another guy that I've noticed has been really shooting, but I can't ever find any props on him is Philip Zadina. Now, he doesn't get any power play time, not a couple years removed from a top pick. He's just been grading out really well for me. He's like 3 shots, 4, 3, 4 here and there, but doesn't really get a lot of ice time. Tommy Novak is minus 128 for a point. I don't like a whole lot, honestly, in this game. But to your point, the Preds are 6 points back of the Jets for the final wild card spot, but they have 3 games in hand. So take care of business today on home ice, and I think they will. I'm not really sold on the way that Detroit's playing hockey lately, although they did have a couple nice games against the Bruins, especially in that second half of that back-to-back. Speaking of the Bruins, what are we going to add here? They're minus 450 favorites against the Chicago Blackhawks. Next, you got a goal scorer too. What are we doing here?
I do it. I do. Looking at Chicago's lineup on daily faceoff is just vomit inducing. It's boys. She's ugly. Boston, a Pasternak and Marchand.
You think they want Connor Bedard? They've been trading everybody away for the past 2 years.
Well, they better get somebody because it's disgusting. Chicago side, Athanasio, and just because I like his name and he's playing on the top power play, Entwistle. Okay, right. If you're picking Chicago guys, just have fun because who knows? They're a brutal team.
Let's see.
Brutal team.
Yeah, awful. Books haven't been putting Oh, and they haven't again today. Here's your same game parlay, guys. And I've fallen into this trap over the past couple of Bruins games, and I haven't been too successful with it lately, but I will go back to it again. Bergeron and Marchand for a point, plus 125. To add Jake DeBrusk in there, that's plus 230. So that Boston top line, although they did split them up the other day. Did you notice they had Tyler Bertuzzi with Marchand and Bergeron? We'll be interested to see if that continues. It did kind of create a little bit of a spark to get them going. They almost came back and tied that game after being down, I think 4-0 or 3-0. Anyways, I do like those three. Maybe you wait it out a little bit. If you feel like if Tyler Bertuzzi's on that line, you can add him at plus 300. But Jake DeBrusk is minus 150 for a point. It's a little bit steep, but I have a hard time believing he or Bergeron won't hit the score sheet. Bergeron's at a similar price at minus 155. They're both at plus 160 for an apple tonight. And Tyler Bertuzzi, I haven't gotten this one right over the past couple of games, but I do believe the process remains a good one. Minus 108 for a point for Tyler Bertuzzi tonight, plus 158 for 3 shots. He is getting an opportunity inside that top 6, so I think he's very, very sneaky here tonight. A couple more goalie starts, Jarry and Shesterkin there, Rangers and Pens. Rangers and Pens aren't playing each other, but they are a couple times here over the next little bit, but we do appreciate the goalie news. All right, let's move on. Bruins are like minus 175 to win by 2 goals. So just a massive lopsided affair tonight. Calgary and Arizona, Flames minus 225. Yotes are checking in at plus 195. The Flames, man, what a disappointing season. What a disappointing run here, too. 4-4-1 in their last 10. They also have 73 points, tied with your Preds, but they played 67 games, and the Preds have played 64. Calgary looks absolutely done. They got to get a W here tonight. That was the guy that I had, Tyler Toffoli and Patrick Laine. Both of these guys for 3 shots in a same-game parlay. I think it pays like 165. What you got over there?
Yeah, Toffoli's been their best player. I mean, pretty much all year. He's been awesome, shooting the lights out, scoring goals, scoring important goals over the last couple of weeks. I don't think Calgary's going to make it, and it's just goaltending, right? They can't get a save. Markstrom is not who he was. I don't know if he will be ever again. And
last year was an outlier.
I mean, obviously an outlier because he's been bad, and he's been bad all year. So, yeah, Toffoli and Kadri on the Calgary side. Arizona side, I'm going Keller and Barrett Hayton. I know it's a guy that you like. And,
love him.
Dude, playing top 6. He's been scoring and is a really good player. Arizona's going to be good. And I think they're going to be good here shortly.
Yeah, I'd say like in 5 years, they'll probably be pretty competitive, especially if they get Bedard. Yeah. They got a ton of picks. They got a ton of draft picks. They've taken on a lot of just obviously –
they're competitive and they're like paying nobody, like it's
right. Yeah. And we talked the other day about Clayton Keller. Like this guy may be one of the most underrated players in the league because he's got 69 points in 67 games. That's fantastic.
An average NHL fan doesn't even know who he is.
29 goals and 69 points in 67 games. He's even better on home ice. Like he averages a little bit more ice time. He's got 33 points in 31 games. He's a point per game player on the road, on home. It doesn't matter, but he does shoot the puck a little bit more at home. 91 shots in 31 games, only 75 and 36. Diehard MMA podcast, probably loving it. I think he's behind, not yet on the Arizona Coyotes. I can't take any of these guys for a shot prop because like Calgary does play really good 5-on-5 hockey. The best 2 players for Calgary all year have been Mikhail Backlund and Tyler Toffoli. Those are the 2 guys I would pick for goal scorers. Those are the 2 guys I would get involved for shot props. Backlund's now at 3.5, a decent price. Don't mind it. And I'd put Toffoli into any parlay with those Blue Jackets guys really came to mind for me. Boone Jenner and Patrick Laine for guys that are a little bit juiced for shot props. But Barrett Hayton, 4-point night the other night, 2 goals. He comes in with a 4-game point streak, and he's got 8 points over that span. 6 shots, 3 his last couple. He's been really, really good. Keller goal or point? I mean, I lean point, but that's a conservative route because, I mean, like, let's take a look. It's probably not even good. I mean, I can't imagine your good odds. Like minus 215 for a point is not really worth your time. Unless you're going to put 3 or 4 different guys in there, then obviously it's a little bit more risky, but you can put 3 or 4 guys and get that up to like plus 300. For an assist, he's minus 110. It's a little bit more worth your time. But for a goal, plus 186 over at FanDuel. I think the safer bet is he hits the score sheet. But how does he hit the score sheet? It could be a goal, could be assist. It's nothing worse than betting the goal and he gets an assist. But he's like, goal it is. There we go. EY says goal, so goal it is. Clayton Keller. What else do we have here? Man, a few more games, eh? Columbus and San Jose. SJ Sharkey. That's what Troy came in early and said SJ Sharkey gets it done. Columbus at plus 125. The Sharks checking in at minus 142. Again, these guys are fairly juiced for shot props, but I like both of them. That's Boone Jenner at 2.5 and Patrick Laine at 2.5. DraftKings is showing minus 155 for both. Let me see you go ahead, take it away. I know you got some goal scorers over, and I'll find some odds for us.
Yeah, we're in lockstep with Laine. I like him to score, and I'm going back to Marashenko again. Loves to shoot the puck, and hasn't scored in a few games, so I think he's due tonight. San Jose side, I'm going Couture, and I'm going Eklund. Eklund is, obviously called up, playing top 6 minutes, playing top power play. They want to see what he can do, and he looked pretty good the other night. In personal news, I'm starting Michael Hutchison on a fantasy team. So,
oh boy, couldn't have been worse than what I did last night. I knew the Avs are going to spank the Habs, but I was like a points league. I'm like, I'll play Jake Allen, -5 points. Boone Jenner, 6 shots in his last game, did score. Best I'm seeing on him is minus 143 over at Bet Rivers. But again, if you guys are subbed with us, you already saw that I have him into a parlay. And then Patrick Laine, he's got 4 shots in 4 straight games. He's minus 155, but he has goals in 4 straight. I actually really like Patrick Laine tonight. The matchup is fantastic. He should get some shot attempts. He's probably one of my favorite goal scorers. Drop the Boone. Boone and Laine are the 2 guys for me. And on the San Jose side, didn't really hear what you said. Were you on Barabanov? I'm assuming you were on Barabanov.
No, I'm on Couture and Eklund.
Okay, yeah, Eklund. Love it. Great, good stuff there. Yeah, Thomas Hertl has got 5 shots in back-to-back games, and he scored in back-to-back games, and he has 4 goals over his last 5 games. So I think we kind of talked about him in a negative light when Timo Meier left, but since the call-ups...
Seems to be pushing it.
I think he's an interesting shot prop guy too. Yeah, Eklund. We do like Eklund on this show. Going to hit the score sheet for Eklund. Over to LA, minus 135 for the Kings on home ice. And then we have the Islanders checking in at plus 115. Finally, Victor Arvidsson has moved up to 3.5 shots. Some books have him at minus 185 for 2.5, but minus 110 over at DraftKings for 4 shots tonight. 4 shots is a lot. It's hard to stomach the 4 when we've been hammering the 2.5 for quite some time. But he has 34 shots on goal over the last 2 weeks. This leads the Kings by far. And Kempe is next with 21. 4, 8, 7, 4, 5, and 6 for Victor Arvidsson. No goals over that span. But as you know, dude loves to fire the puck on net. And I like him again to continue to shoot the puck on net.
Yeah, and is can really rip it. Was a guy here that caught everybody by surprise. Can really shoot the puck. Those are the 2 guys that I have. I know that they shoot the puck, but I did not know that Arvidsson had shot it that much. I can tell you, I watch Kings games. I watch every game, but he's jumped off the page, and that's because he's shooting the puck a ton. Right, this is when he's feeling it and he's good. You notice him, and you notice that he's shooting the puck. So I'm going with Kempe and Arvidsson for the Kings, and for the Islanders, I'm going back to Horvat and Nelson.
Yeah, the group seems to like Kempe here. Brzis 91 is on it. I like it too. I got Kempe written down
really good too, and he hasn't got one to go, but he's looked really good. Yeah.
I got Kempe down here for minus 150 for a point, but I do like the goal you're on it. We also like he's not an elite goal scorer, but he's a really good goal scorer. He's definitely the Kings' best goal scorer, in my opinion. Is Fiala back tonight? Oh, by the way, only Nathan McKinnon has more shots on goal than Victor Arvidsson over the last 2 weeks. It just goes to show one company he is in lately, firing the puck on net. I like the over 3.5. I like Kempe as well. I day-to-day for Kevin Fiala. So we'll see there what happens, but it just means more ice time for guys like Kempe and Victor Arvidsson. And I like Bo Horvat as well. I got him at plus 100 for 3 shots. He has been shooting. He's right there. He seems to be there. I like the Kings money line as well. I think it's gonna be a tight game. I think it's gonna be a low scoring game. I gotta have a lean to the under. I know it's 5.5. I do believe. I don't think we've seen any movement. Yeah, under 5.5 is plus 100. Don't see any books offering 6. Oh, there is 1-6 over at Bet Rivers minus 122 under. Yeah, Hammerhead's calling an upset. I mean, I think it's basically a coin flip game. But I do like the Kings on home ice here tonight. Should be a tight one. I think we've done it. Oh no, there's one more. And I like this one quite a bit actually. I put a 2-unit play on the Vegas Golden Knights to win in 60 against the Philadelphia Flyers. Can we get some live odds? That was minus 110 last night. I can't imagine it's changed too much. Minus 120 for the Vegas Golden Knights to win in 60. I don't know if I need too much more analysis behind it. Flyers, Vegas Golden Knights.
Yep.
Giddy up.
Yeah,
my analysis is that Vegas, I thought they played pretty good in Carolina the other night. Yep. Really good. Jonathan Quick is kind of like motivated. Cool. I don't know if he's going to get the call tonight. He should get the call tonight. They're going through some injuries. Are you kidding me? It is super cool. And did you see the video of the presser after they traded Quick and they were talking to Doughty and Kopitar? Man, the guys just like they lost their best friend.
Yep.
They were, both of them were so emotional. And it was actually after, hey, did you hear that Jonathan Quick was traded to Vegas? And like you could just see Kopitar's eyes like, oh my God, are you kidding me? You know, we're going to run into Vegas. You know, Quick is going to be an issue. Anyways, I do like the Golden Knights tonight.
I do too. I like Eichel and Riley Smith. And on the Philadelphia side, Tippett, dude, shooting the puck like a lunatic, has got a lot to go. There's not a lot to cheer for or be excited about in Philadelphia. But Tippett has been pretty decent, and Morgan Frost, and I'm saying that because he's centering the top line, centering the top power play. If you're going to bet on somebody to score, bet on a guy that's going to be on the ice when it matters.
Good call. That's good advice. Yeah, the Golden Knights have won 6 of 7, 5-3 victory against St. Louis. We don't really care about, but the 4-0 victory in Carolina was very impressive. Quick was fantastic in that game. 4-3 victory against Tampa. They beat the Devils and they beat the Hurricanes on March 1st as well. So they have some really impressive wins. They're healthy at the right time, and they're getting some goaltending right now as well. He got traded to Columbus, though. Yeah, Quick. But then he got traded to Vegas. Yeah, he got traded to Columbus, and then he got traded to Vegas. But the guys were super upset, just as the way that he was treated. Doughty talked about how thought he was gonna play his whole career with him, franchise guy and things like that. But anyways, first time I've seen in quite some time for Jack Eichel at plus 130 for 4 shots, and I know he hasn't been shooting all that much. I'm down a little bit. Plus 136 over at FanDuel. But it's all about the matchup here, guys. 4 shots against the Hurricanes is very impressive, a team that doesn't give up a whole lot. So against the Flyers, I feel like it's a big Jack Eichel night. I think he's going to score. He's plus 145 for an assist. He's only minus 160 for a point. That's what you can do. You can, when you take the Keller point, you take the Kempe point, you take an Eichel point, maybe somebody from Boston, DeBrusque, Bergeron, Marchand, one of those guys. I think it's a pretty safe parlay there. I think Riley Smith is also pretty sneaky for a goal tonight as well. Riley Smith and Eichel and Marchessault point prop. Barabana for a point. Pretty good spot for the Vegas Golden Knights tonight. Theodore's been really good as well. Absolutely. My only worry is last game, long road trip, Philly at home. Slight concerns. It does seem like a trap that we're only getting minus 110, minus 120 now to win in 60, but I think Vegas will pull it out. They're in playoff mode here now. I think we've done it. I'll roll through some sides and some totals, and you get those goal scorers ready for the peeps. All right, so I am going with a couple upsets here tonight with the Jets at plus 170 against the Hurricanes, but I do like the under 6 you can still get. I also like the Capitals as a dog here at plus 145. I like the Devils on home ice at minus 130. I like the Golden Knights in 60 at minus 120 now. I'm going to stay away from the Pens puck line, but I wouldn't be shocked. The Habs just do weird things, man. They hang around in games, but back-to-back, second half of back-to-back. I do feel like Pittsburgh will probably sneak that one out 4-2, maybe a 5-3 game, something like that. I'm not going to stay away from Detroit and Nashville, but I would lean with the Preds. In particular, the under, I think, is the best bet in that game. The Bruins and the Blackhawks, just stay away from that one, but, they should have their way. Ottawa and the Edmonton Oilers, as I mentioned, I think Ottawa's a better dog than maybe the Rangers at plus 180 is a bet that I can get behind for sure. And I'm not going to give you guys over 7, but I do see like a 5-4, 5-3 game. I'm going to stay away from Carolina, Arizona. I like Dallas, despite the second half of a back-to-back. Won't get Ottinger, but I do like the Dallas Stars there. I like the under between LA and the Islanders. I like the under between the Sharks and the Blue Jackets in there as well. And that's it for sides and totals for me. You take it away. I know you got some goal scores.
All right, everybody buckle up. Here we go. Jarvis, Nitchas, Connor, Wheeler, Suzuki, Gurianov, Gensel, Zucker, Eichel, Smith, Tippett, Frost, Ovi, Oshie, Zabinajad, Kane, Point, Killorn, Meyer, Bratt, Larkin, Perron, Duchesne, Novak, Pasta, Marchand, Athanasio, Entwistle, Kachuk, DeBrincat, McDavid, Draisaitl, Toffoli, Kadri, Keller, Hayton, Robertson, Ben, Pedersen, Kuzmenko, Horvat, Nelson, Kempe, Arvidsson, Laine, Marashenko, Couture, Eklund. And the 8-way Maniac Parlay goes as follows.
Let's hear it.
Gensel, Eichel, Zabinajad, Point, McDavid, Draisaitl, Pasta, Marchand. Doubled up on the backside there and feeling really good about it.
I think my two favorites from that 8-leg, and they're all good, was be first. Like, what? Probably just new to the show. Was thinking that you were going to give us maybe 5 goal scorers, but with 12 games, you just rattled off 75 goal scorers. So Beefer has no idea who to bet. He has no idea which guy to bet tonight. I would 60 goal scorers. I would stick to the 8 that he gave. He's been pretty close to perfect numerous times in the 8, maybe a combo. I mean,
it's been so. I mean, I've been one off like 4 or 5 times. We've done this most of the season, and it's oh man, it's infuriating.
Yeah, he says, "Yeah, new guy here. It's been an ongoing kind of like joke of rattling off 100 goal scorers, but hammering the favorite 8. We usually agree on a couple. I think my 2 favorites from the group that you just gave was Jake Gensel, and I really like Jack Eichel for goal scorers here. So I'm going to probably just give you guys 8. I'm going to stay away from Winnipeg, Carolina, but I do have a point prop here for Nito Niederreiter at plus 100 that I do like from that game. I do like Ovechkin for the Washington Capitals. I like Rasmus Sandin for a point at plus 130. I like Jack Hughes tonight at over 3.5 shots, and I like Jack Hughes to find the back of the net, but we both agree on Timo Meier. It could be a nice Timo Meier night for him in New Jersey. We just talked about Jack Eichel. Really like Jack Eichel. I think he has like a 2-point night. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on the assist prop at plus 145, I believe I saw. Minus 160 for a point, Jack Eichel night. And I think Riley Smith is an interesting goal scorer as well. We both like Jake Gensel. I really like Jason Zucker. It's our free bet of the day at over 2.5 shots. I like Zucker for a point at minus 125, and I will sprinkle the assist, maybe half a unit on plus 220 for an Apple. But he's got 9 goals in his last 9 games. He's kind of really feeling it at the moment. Heat check time for Mr. Zucker. And I think there's pretty decent odds here for like Tyler Bertuzzi for a point at minus 104. Jake DeBrusk at minus 150 for a point, and some same game parlays there for the Bruins, Marchand and Bergeron. If Tyler Bertuzzi is in that top line, really going to like him a lot. They put him on that line at the end of the game in place of Jake DeBrusk, but I do like DeBrusk to hit the score sheet as well. It's not sneaky news, but you're going to get better odds for Jake DeBrusk and Tyler Bertuzzi as opposed to obviously Pasta and Bergeron. The Ottawa Senators, Edmonton Oilers. I have Brady Tkachuk for over 3.5 shots, and I have Connor McDavid over 4.5 shots. I really do like Evander Kane for a goal and Tim Stützle for a goal there. Calgary, my 4 favorite shot props are pretty juiced. Toffoli, Boone Jenner, Patrick Laine, and Zach Hyman. I've just put those guys into a parlay. Jenner with Toffoli, Laine with Hyman, and I've moved on. I like Kuzmenko for a point. I like Victor Arvidsson over 3.5 shots, and I also like Bo Horvat for 2.5 shots. And then I have Patrick Laine to score a goal too. So new guy, a lot of action. FTNbets.com. If you're looking to be part of the family, we're running 3-day trials. Bet Beefer. FTNbets.com/free. FTNdaily.com/free. 3-day trials on both of our websites. You get all picks from all sports over at FTN Bets, the projections, the tools. You get the optimizers for the DFS crew out there as well. Articles daily, and the Discord channels are always lit. I think I've hit on everything here. Nino for 1.5 shots. Garyanov 1.5 shots. Matheson 2.5. Yeah, a lot of action, right? Mercer point. We could ride that one out. -145, +140 for an assist. I think that's it. Oh, yeah. Daddy.
Daddy.
+112 for a point. We try to keep it simple. I know it can be a little confusing at the end of shows, Beefer, just rattling off a bunch, but we try to keep it simple with like narrowing it down to 8 and kind of walking through some of the plays. Any questions, you guys can always reach out at Twitter, at the Eric Young, at Chris Meaney. You can leave any comments, any questions in there as well. Do appreciate all you guys hanging out with us, and we do love new faces in here as well, Beefer. So good luck on the ice. Hopefully we didn't confuse you with a boatload of picks, and hopefully you guys have a successful night here tonight. We'll be back on Thursday. You guys check out ftnbets.com/free and ftndaily.com/free as well. We'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers.